Hey, welcome to Manila Updates TV. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The news hit social media like a thunderclap. Japan's giant destroyers arrive in the Philippines. Forums and feeds exploded with dramatic photos of massive warships. The story was simple. Japan, a historic naval power, was sending its most formidable vessels to its ally, the Philippines. Many Filipinos saw this as a sign of a powerful new alliance, a source of national pride. Others questioned the implications. Was this a prelude to conflict? Was Japan breaking its own rules? The rumor spread fast, filled with specific but unverified details, naming classes of ships and claiming dozens were being transferred. For those unfamiliar with military logistics, it sounded plausible. The idea of dozens of advanced destroyers joining the Philippine fleet was thrilling, but the truth was far less dramatic. Governments scrambled to correct the story, but the Phantom Fleet had already arrived online. The excitement was real, but built on misunderstanding. The actual Japan-Philippines defense cooperation was quieter, less flashy, and far more complex. The gap between rumor and reality was vast. The viral story was a powerful example of how quickly misinformation can take hold. It was a tale people wanted to believe, but the facts told a different story. The real partnership was happening, but not in the way the headlines suggested. The destroyers existed only in the digital world. The truth was about to surface. To see why the rumor was so unlikely, let's clarify. A destroyer is not just any warship. These billion-dollar vessels are frontline combatants, bristling with missiles, torpedoes, and advanced sensors. They require hundreds of highly trained crew and immense logistical support. Transferring even one is a massive undertaking. Dozens would be unprecedented. After World War II, Japan's constitution, especially Article 9, strictly limited its military. Japan's self-defense forces exist for defense only, with tight restrictions on what they can own or export. For decades, Japan banned all military exports. Recent changes allow some transfers, but only under strict conditions, never major offensive weapons, like destroyers. Giving away dozens of destroyers would be a radical, almost unthinkable shift in Japanese policy. It would require rewriting laws and upending Japan's entire strategic outlook. The rumor ignored these deep legal and political realities. Japan's defense exports remain tightly controlled, especially for high-end warships. The idea of a massive destroyer transfer simply doesn't fit with Japan's post-war identity. The real story was about something much more practical and much less dramatic. The destroyers were never on the table. The truth was in the details. So, what was Japan actually providing? Not destroyers, but modern patrol vessels for the Philippine Coast Guard. These multi-role response vessels, MRRVs, are large, capable ships, but built for law enforcement, search and rescue, and maritime security, not war. They help combat piracy, illegal fishing, and smuggling, and are vital for disaster response. Japan's support includes not just ships, but also coastal radar systems, technical expertise, and extensive training. These radar stations give the Philippines a clearer picture of its waters, improving security and response. The partnership is transparent, well-documented, and focused on building real capabilities. Japanese experts train Filipino crews to operate and maintain the new vessels and systems. The real value is in this long-term commitment to capacity building. It's not about dramatic gifts of warships, but about patient, sustained support. The Japan-Philippines relationship is built on practical cooperation, not flashy headlines. Patrol boats, not battleships, are the backbone of this alliance. The work is steady, not sensational. The real story is one of partnership, not spectacle. The myth of the destroyers distracts from the true progress being made. The facts are clear. No battleships, just better security. How did patrol boats become destroyers in the public imagination? The answer: images without context. Japanese warships, including destroyers, have visited Philippine ports for joint exercises and goodwill visits. Photos of these massive ships shared online fueled confusion. A destroyer docked in Manila for a few days can look like a permanent transfer to the untrained eye. Social media posts often mislabel patrol vessels as destroyers. The term warship is used loosely, blurring distinctions. Joint exercises create powerful visuals, Japanese and Philippine ships sailing together. These images are easily misinterpreted as evidence of a transfer. In reality, the Japanese ships always return home. The partnership is real, but the ships remain Japanese. Misunderstandings spread when images lack explanation. Viral photos can create stories that outpace the facts. The destroyer rumor was built on a foundation of misidentified ships and misleading visuals. The truth is less dramatic but far more accurate. Context is everything. As the rumor spread, officials in Manila and Tokyo responded quickly. Both governments issued clear statements. No destroyers are being transferred. The real cooperation is about patrol vessels, radar, and training, not warships. Japan's Ministry of Defense and Embassy in Manila reiterated their commitment to legal and peaceful partnership. The transfer of major offensive platforms like destroyers is not happening. These denials were crucial for setting the record straight. Still, the rumor persisted online, outpacing the official corrections. Sensational stories are hard to kill, even with facts. Misinformation spreads faster than the truth. Official statements provided the facts but couldn't erase the viral myth overnight. The destroyer story lingered, but reality was catching up. The facts were clear, even if the fiction was more exciting. The truth was out there for those willing to look. Beyond legal barriers, the practical obstacles to transferring destroyers are enormous. Each destroyer costs over $1 billion and requires a highly trained crew and extensive support infrastructure. Japan has a limited number of these ships. Giving them away would cripple its own defense. The Philippines lacks the facilities and trained personnel to operate and maintain such vessels. A sudden influx of destroyers would destabilize the region, potentially triggering an arms race. Responsible partners build stability through gradual, transparent cooperation, not dramatic escalations. Japanese destroyers are integrated into Japan's defense network. Transferring them would require stripping sensitive technology. The result would be a less capable, more expensive ship for the recipient. It's far more practical to build new ships tailored to the Philippines' needs, exactly what Japan is doing with MRRVs. The destroyer rumor ignored these realities. The real partnership is about sustainable, effective support. The logistics make the rumor impossible. The facts speak for themselves. Why did the destroyer story catch fire? It tapped into real hopes and anxieties. The South China Sea is a tense region, and many Filipinos want a stronger defense. The idea of a powerful ally delivering warships is emotionally compelling. The growing Japan-Philippines partnership made the rumor seem plausible. Social media amplifies dramatic headlines, creating a feedback loop of belief. Most people aren't experts in naval affairs. Impressive images and simple stories are persuasive. The rumor offered a satisfying solution to a complex problem. The reality, slow, steady cooperation, doesn't make for viral content. Wishful thinking and lack of context fueled the myth. The destroyer story was popular because it resonated, not because it was true. The facts, though less exciting, are far more important. The real alliance is built on substance, not spectacle. The verdict is clear. There are no Japanese destroyers in the Philippines. The story was a product of misidentified images, misunderstood exercises, and wishful thinking. Official statements from both governments have been consistent: no destroyers, just patrol boats and training. The real partnership is about building maritime security, not transferring warships. The logistical and strategic barriers are insurmountable. The destroyer rumor was never grounded in fact. The real story is a steady, practical alliance. The Phantom Fleet exists only online. The facts are clear for those who look. The truth is less dramatic, but far more meaningful. The Phantom Destroyer saga is a lesson in digital skepticism. Sensational headlines demand verification, not blind sharing. Images need context. Who owns the ship? Why is it there? What's the real story? Official sources and reputable news matter more than viral posts. Facts aren't determined by our hopes. Real defense cooperation is slow and practical, not sudden and dramatic. The Japan-Philippines partnership is about patrol boats and radar, not phantom fleets. By seeking facts, we resist misinformation. The real story is one of patient diplomacy and practical support. The destroyers are a myth. The partnership is real.